All right. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My St. Kramer with Brian the Grizzly. What's up?
What's going on, guys? I mean, he did say January, so
turn in the assignment right before the end of class.
wait.
Yeah. Filling in the circles right as they're right as he's walking. But yeah, so this is kind of like obviously we don't usually go live on today.
I mean, we do, but it's just not for this.
not on this channel. We usually talk about the Chicago Bears and football, which I think we still gonna do. Yeah. There you go. So we got Brandman coming in. See, give a thumbs up whenever you're ready, dude. And then
give us a thumbs up and a really uncomfortable smile.
he's been practicing. and then so we'll talk a little bit, and then I know Derpy Entertainment, what's up, the dynamic duo. We'll get there we go. We get Brandman in here.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
Just fine. Yep.
Yeah, you were down in
Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Sound good to me.
Yeah, can you hear us?
I am muted.
Oh. Was it me this time? I did not mute you this time.
Yeah. What? Oh, excuse me, man. But yeah, Derpy, we're just gonna set things up a little bit, and then we'll invite Derpy, because I know Derpy, he's been trying to go live, and he's been talking about like entertainment stuff and all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah. We heard you before.
I couldn't hear me for some reason.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Jimmy Mills. Appreciate
What's up,
it.
Jimmy?
What's going on, Jimmy?
I feel better now. That's all three of us. Now we're balanced, guys. Now we're balanced.
Yeah. Fell asleep like right after work, but I couldn't miss this one.
Dude, James Gunn. I was almost ready to do James Gunn like through the phone. Yeah, we at 680 right now. I was literally going go live on my phone. Like, let's go, because James Gunn just blew it out the water.
It's a little too big to pass up tonight.
Yeah, and I think it's just one of the things. Now we're still at 69, at 679. Jimmy's just like the stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jimmy's been a follower for a while too. But yeah, so we're gonna talk a little bit and then set it up, and then we're gonna watch his James Gunn actual like announcement of everything, and then we'll bring in Mr. Derpy Entertainment, try to promote his channel a little bit. I know he said he's gonna try to kind of talk about a lot of the entertainment stuff as well, and try to start his channel, which is awesome. So
yeah, which should be amazing
live
for sure.
Yeah, he was live yesterday and live today, and today I was at work, so I was in chat hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely bring him in a little bit. We got Jimmy. No idea what's happening, man.
For real, Jimmy? I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
Hey, I seen the boulder. It's a nice boulder.
Yeah. So if you're like Jimmy and living under a rock, today was the day. Today was the DCU James Gunn announcement day, and the slate did not disappoint. Hey, we got Tony in here. What's up, Tony?
What's up, Tony?
Hey. Yep, the slate was solid.
Tony.
So I don't understand why some people think they can reveal all the big dogs in chapter 1.
Yeah, and I like
what
that.
I was saying though, guys.
Yeah, and I like that this was only he only revealed, it wasn't even the entire chapter, or basically the equivalent to Marvel's Phase 1, so to speak.
Yeah,
it
I did like the chapter.
It felt like to me like a lot of the stuff is going to be animated, which is okay with me, because guess what DC does? They're the best at animated series. They are literally the best. They know how to do it. So I feel like that's the right way to do it, because then you don't have to announce actors or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out when we find out, and it can go from live action to voice acting whenever, and it'll be synonymous. And I thought that was really good. That was a really good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which ones he said. I don't know if he said any of them were going to be animated. I just know he said these are the movies and these are the TV.
I know he said
He said a couple of them they're going to be animated.
Yeah, I know he said, but he didn't say which ones, right? I think that's
Creature Commandos is going to be animated.
okay.
I remember that.
But that's why it's going to be cool that we read
the
watch
animated series. Yep.
We'll watch it and see exactly which one's going to be the animated ones. And
yeah.
You know what? He might not even know. He might not even know. And that's even better. So he announced all this stuff and said the animator going to be the same as the voice actors. And it doesn't matter. He's going to figure out as he goes along.
Mm-hmm. So really great idea to cross them over that way. Yeah. With some of it being animated, some of it being live action, and it's going to be one coherent one cohesive universe. I like that idea.
Yeah. So I did share the link to the Variety article that kind of everyone's talking about. And it kind of breaks it down TV and stuff like that. Yeah, and it did say that one is animated.
Yeah, and to answer Tony's question, that's just lack of patience on the internet. You can't really, unfortunately, do too much about that.
I thought he said everyone, but kind of Wonder Woman, kind of not Wonder Woman, like a prequel to Wonder Woman.
He said that they're going to talk about the world, like that's where she's from, but not. This is where Wonder Woman is from. We're going to talk about that. They didn't say we're going to do Wonder Woman as a movie because you might not have the actors. You might not have the actors for this stuff. So we know what properties we're going to do, but until we have the exact directors and actors and all that stuff, why would you release more than that? I think what he did was he released exactly enough. And a lot that could be not done as live action movies, and he could do that because if he I can't hit this deadline, easy. I'm just gonna make it an animated one, and then we'll have a live action one the next year, and you can continue to do that. And I think it's smart because you add the animated series along with the live action stuff, and it works out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Brandon got his booster gold. I love
Did I not say that? Did I not call that? Did I not say that was going to happen under James Gunn? Did I not?
First thing I thought about when I saw it come up, I was like, Brandon got to be loving it.
A bunch of other ones that I thought were perfect for James Gunn to do. Creature Commandos was really into the Authority. I was really interested. Like
I told you that the Green. I said the Green Lantern. I was like, man, I knew it was coming.
Happen. I didn't think it was happening. I'm loving. I was super when he announced that. I was like, oh, I get it. I legit got. And then we get Hal and John. Like I said, that's the best way to do it.
The reason I felt like you had to do this way. Because you want to have some variety. You can't just have, all white guys, and you need to have a variety. And because of that, I thought you had to have Green Lantern. Honestly, that's why I thought it was going to come out.
Reading up on and listening to about the show Lanterns, it had me when they said it's essentially going to be True Detective with superheroes. I think that's a pretty cool.
Exactly what he said. It was so amazing.
Yeah, that sounds dope. That sounds dope.
What's up, Perp?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Perp?
Hey, Perp.
Yeah. So I know I was in I think it was whose video was that earlier? But I know Perp was part of it. Yeah, because they had like Chillmonger, K-Dot, Perp, and all those guys were over there talking about it and stuff like that. So hey, what's up, Armando? But yeah, I mean, I know when this happened, me and Brian were like, do we go live? Do we talk about it? It's kind of hard not to, because how big fans we are. Like I said, we usually don't go live on this channel, but like we're still gonna talk football on our other channel after this. So this is not gonna be that long of a stream. But I hope the land series is more the Wire in space.
Oh my god.
That might be a little too much.
The Wire in space, my dude.
Hal Jordan just busting heads on freaking. Imagine next a car just so he could bust somebody's head on it.
Oh, that would be so good.
If James announced any milestone characters in the rest of the chapter, I would be excited. We might.
Honestly, I had to say this feeling. I'm so glad we're not going back and do another introduction to Batman, another introduction to Superman. Like I don't need that anymore. How many times are we going to do the same storyline? This is what I was saying all day yesterday. I was tired of hearing the same storyline over and over again, and we never get past page 6. Like, there's a 1,000-page novel, and we never get past page 6, and we keep on going back to the beginning. Just assume everyone knows the hell's going on.
Yeah, well, people do know what's going on. You know, we've seen Bruce Wayne's parents get gunned down in the alleyway multiple times. So I like that this is going to be an already established Batman. You know, Gunn made it clear that this is going to be like the first step in introducing the whole of the Bat family. It's a really cool angle that this is going to not be like Dick Grayson or Jason Todd, but Damian Wayne. That's cool.
Bring the whole Bat family. It's
the whole Bat family.
We've been waiting for this because as soon as you get close to it, they go around. We start over again and go around and start over again. So instead, they just said, no, we're going to go right through. We're going to give you what you want. Give the people what they want. Thank you. Yeah. Give me a new story. Give me something that makes sense. Let's do this.
Yeah. I mean, definitely skipping all the way to the most current Robin is really interesting because I didn't think they were going to do that. You know, they're going to do Brave and the Bold or Batman and Son. I think it's called, or Batman Son, whatever it's called.
Brave and the Bold. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, it's not going to be Dick. It's going to be Bruce and his son, which I think is probably for the best because then you can have Nightwing, Red Wing, Batgirl, Batwoman, whoever else. You know, like you can have all of that. You know, I think it'll be interesting. I think that's going to be pretty interesting to have the entire Bat family. Like, it makes sense too. Like in a way of like, let's just introduce them all, and then now we can just make all these movies rather than make a movie, introduce a character, make another movie, introduce another character. Just like here it is.
Like guys, you've had 80 years of Batman. Let's just assume that you've seen one of them and know kind of what's going on. And that's kind of what it is. It's just assuming that you've seen some of this stuff.
And going this angle kind of sets it apart from a lot of the previous Batman that we've seen.
Yep.
You know, introducing his son, especially with, and you know, presumably this is going to be like kind of a Batman that's kind of been at it for quite a while, who has been around the block, kind of similar to Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
You know, his Batman had been at it.
What I thought about Batfleck.
Yeah. You know, I think that it'll be a nice contrast because Damian Wayne didn't have any qualms about killing people. Whereas, of course,
Jensen Ackles is one of my favorite actors of all time. You don't know how much I love Supernatural. Like, I literally watch Supernatural every day for like the last 7 years. Like, no matter what, I find the time to watch Supernatural. No matter what, in the day. I don't know if I like Jensen Ackles as Batman.
I love it. He was the voice of Batman in the was it Long Halloween?
I believe. You know, he even
Halloween
voiced Red Hood in Under the Red Hood.
But that's the problem.
Which was great. But
I think I would rather him as Red Hood.
Nah. I want somebody younger than like he's older now. He's older now.
You're not going to get younger though. I don't think you're going to get younger.
You're going to get. I mean, it has to. I mean, one has to be.
Makes sense. I think you're going to get established, and they're going to bring in new characters. I think that's what Gunn wants to do.
Oh yeah.
But Ackles is not going to take the old man Batman. He's like, why would I do that now? He feels like this is my person. He is.
No, because I think for me, when I say old man Batman, I'm thinking more like
40s.
Batman Beyond. You know, he's almost 40. I think he's in his 40s.
Batman doesn't age like Jensen Ackles. Jensen Ackles could still be Jensen Ackles for another 20 years and look the same. Like he's not old.
I think it'll be good because like he already knows how to handle a bratty younger kid, you know, Sam, you know, so like
Sam is the same age.
Mentally is like fucking 10. Fucking hate. Yeah. Jensen Ackles is 44. I'm sorry, Sam was super annoying.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm hoping like Bruce, like
Jared Padalecki's he's like 40. Just
yeah.
no, I'm not saying he's not younger. He's just annoying and he acts like a child in the show all the time, especially in the beginning.
At the beginning, that was 16 years ago.
I know, right? He never grew up mentally. He's like, I'm gonna go back to college and hang out with my girlfriend. She's dead. Get past it.
Yeah, you haven't been. Once you get past season 12, Sam is the stronger one.
Oh no, Sam.
Dean falls down. He's the older, falling apart person, and Sam's the stronger one. And this is totally not on subject. I'm sorry.
I know. I like Jensen because like he's old enough where you're like it makes sense where like you're like okay he can have a 12-year-old kid grown in the lab and shit like that and then you can have like a 20-something-year-old Nightwing, a 20-something-year-old Red Hood. Like you can have some of these younger actors play some of the sidekicks. I don't see him
playing well with others. I just really don't.
Yeah.
No, he does not play well with others. So I just don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
I think he wants it. He's been wanting to play Batman for a long time.
This has been his number one. This has been his number one thing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
For a long time, this has been his number one.
That should be at least around 35 of age.
I was just about to say that, like
younger,
mid late 30s. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
but I'd say like 35. Yeah,
especially if you're gonna go that route, like you need to have somebody a little bit older that it's realistic that he can have like a 12-year-old. Running around. Plus he had to have raised 3 other Robins. Yeah. So like, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. But Jensen
does look like a single father. That's because even in the show Supernatural, he had Lisa, who was a single mother, and he was he was a father, that's the de facto father for her son. So
yeah. It said we see the Batman rocking blue and gray, so people can't get it confused.
I was thinking about that too. I'd like the blue and gray would be dope.
Yeah, I like that.
Or even like lighter. Well, Batfleck already wore the black and gray, but I'd take that again because I've always liked the black and gray.
Yeah, a couple people trying to say it's too late for DC trying to downplay the slate. What?
It's not
shake my head.
No, it's not too late.
It's gonna crush it.
Yeah. Why would it be too late?
Do I also think it's gonna crush it? I'm gonna wait to pass judgment because DC's hurt me too many times before. I'm not going in thinking, oh, this is going to work. I'm just saying that's a good slate. If you can pull this shit off, I'm good.
It's a good slate, and it's an interesting angle to work. It doesn't seem like it's being it doesn't seem like it's trying to be Marvel. It's trying to be very much its own animal. I think it's a good little combination of characters that we're already familiar with, as well as some more obscure content. So it really seems like a good amalgamation or combination or whatever word you want to use in that regard.
Yeah.
Well, let's listen to
that's
James
another
Gunn.
Good one, Derpy. That's another good one.
Let's listen to him now, and then bring Derpy in. Let's hear everything.
Yeah, so we'll bring in Derpy and stuff like that. He goes, "Yep, Maya Goth versus as Lois Lane."
As Lois Lane.
She just does that crazy smile the entire time. There you go. Where's gonna this freak? Where is it? There you go.
There you go.
There you go. There's Mia Goth. All right, that's creepy enough.
It's enough.
That's creepy enough.
You need to see Boogie Man last night, so no, you don't. No.
Yeah,
you don't need that. I'm in the basement still. It's too dark. I can't do this.
He's gonna do that for the rest of the episode. Watch. He's gonna wind up. He don't need to go to the gym. He wasted like 1,000 calories
smiling. All right, let's do this.
All right, come on, man. Freaking me out now. What was that video? Oh yeah, let's so Derpy, Derpy made this video. Crazy, man.
I'm leaving.
Scaring me.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm gonna make a video of that. All right. So Derpy made this video. Let me bring this down. That's very unsettling.
It is. It is. The new Joker, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. So I won't play all of it. It's 3 minutes long, but yeah, it's definitely pretty fun.
Let's give it 45 seconds. Let's look at this.
And then we'll get to James.
Can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No.
All right, hold on. Hang on. I thought I hit the button. Oh, I know what I did. Sorry. Just that picture alone is pretty cool. Can you hear it?
You know what's great about you, Puddin'? You really put the fun in funeral.
Dear friends, today is the day cried. And he cries not for the passing of one man, but for the death of a dream.
Oh,
The dream that he would someday taste the ultimate victory over his hated enemy. For it was the Batman who made me the happy soul I am today. How I agonized over the perfect way to thank him for that. Perhaps with a cyanide pie in the face. Or an exploding whoopee cushion playfully planted in the Batmobile. But those dreams were dashed by the Weasley little gunsel sitting there in our midst. The cowardly got lucky when Batman slipped on the slime trail this loser left behind him. This mound of diseased hyena filth who's not fit to lick the dirt from my spats. But I digress. The time for sorrow has passed. It's time to look ahead to a future filled.
All right, that's enough.
Yeah.
And
I think it's like pretty much. It's like mixing rest of the word. There you go. R.I.P. Snyderverse.
It was an interesting experiment.
We barely knew you.
We barely. I got 4 hours. Ah, crap. So Derpy, I sent you the link so you can join one in whenever you're ready to go.
And while we're waiting on them, why don't we just play the James Gunn?
Get it going.
Yep.
I'm gonna get a glass of water.
Hey, you want to enjoy yourself with this? Come on. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
nice beverage.
Joker would be a great lawyer. Yeah. But James Gunn brought excitement to DC. He really did, man. He really did. I mean, he got people every single day in January. Is it today? Today?
But I agree. It seemed like he was excited about the whole thing. That was really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
He seemed like he really wanted to share some stuff. And he's like, I just want to get this off my chest.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also like with I saw other people say it, and I kind of agree with it as well, where it should have been a bigger event, you know, instead it was just him talking to a camera, and I felt like he edited it himself probably, you know, because like somebody's like, yeah, he did it all himself because he didn't want anything to leak.
Yep.
So can't leak it if no one knows, and he's the only one doing it.
I was surprised he would get a video. I thought he might be giving a tweet storm.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I thought too. I was okay with him doing this way because I mean, a camera by himself. I'm surprised he's not doing a selfie phone just so no one else could hear it in the basement. All right, guys, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Instead of saying the actual slate, he's like, and then we're gonna, and he's like slides in like Batman, Superman. That would have been awesome. That would have been super fucking funny. You would have pissed everyone off. You said that shit died 5 years ago.
Hey, it kept on coming back. It kept coming back.
Yep. All right, what's up, Derpy? Actually, all right, try. I saw somebody else do this layout.
All right.
Right now you're muted, Derpy.
Yeah, 3 seconds. We're going.
Or we're waiting for Brand. We can wait for Brand real quick.
I'm telling him. He's the one you gotta wait. We're waiting 3 seconds for. Not Derpy.
I'm here.
You're good, Derpy. I'm not
I'm
waiting
back.
for him. All right.
What's up, Drew? That's a great avatar too. The Superman carrying DC Lois.
All
All
right.
right. So real quick, so we got Derpy Entertainment. Go check him out, man. I know he's starting to do a lot of live shows and talk about like movies and other stuff as well. So make sure you go give Derpy a follow, man. He's been one of our like OG fans here at Spoiler King. So we appreciate Derpy, coming in, hanging out today. But cool. You still there, man?
Yes, I am.
All right. So let's watch this, and then I'll kind of pause it randomly, or not randomly, but.
Hey, everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios.
Hi, boss.
As many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty...
So, real quick.
More like DC's F up.
yeah. You're like a DC bastard child is over here.
I mean, but the Batman might make more money than any of the other stuff he does, so we can't say that. So the Batman might be better.
I mean, Matt Reeves is like, do you want money for your shit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how about you have to shut the fuck up? Enjoy this.
Same thing with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I think it's gonna do pretty well. But do you guys feel like this might be like a kind of a slap in the face to Snyderverse? They're like, oh, all this other stuff, that's all elsewhere, but not Snyderverse. But everything else is gonna be unofficial canon, except for that.
If it wasn't 5 years ago,
nice to him.
That's the thing. It died 5 years ago, just like Perp said. It was already dead.
It was dead. So I don't think he's being disrespectful or stepping on any of that. The Batman came out last year. That's still pretty fresh. That's still going strong. Matt Reeves always planned a sequel or at least a trilogy, he said. So, I don't think by dubbing it Elseworlds that's anything disrespectful. I think that's, he's leaving them enough wiggle room and breathing space to kind of continue with their own thing as planned. So I kind of respect that in that regard. The DC, the Snyderverse was already pretty much dead in the ground. Yeah. And I feel like you have to bury it. What was that, Derpy?
It died in 2016.
Yeah. Just
Batman
leave it.
vs. Superman.
When I think about
Batman vs.
it dying, I think of it the Simpsons episode. He's already dead. Quit kicking him. It's already happened.
That was what came out first? Was Batman vs Superman, then Suicide Squad came out? I think, or something like
Suicide Squad was like 5 months later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a meme. Like, let it die.
That's what solidified the universe right there.
I'll never forget the feeling when I walked out of Suicide Squad. Just how disgusted I was.
Who was in charge of the editing?
The editing was awful. Yeah,
it was so
bad. They hired a trailer some trailer company to cut the movie.
That'll do it.
They couldn't finish the movie, and that's why they had to do what they had to do. Because remember, Warner Brothers is about making money, and that's what I'm worried. What happens when James Gunn comes in and he's going to start fighting, and they're like, "We need money." So like. That's why I got to wait and see. I don't even know if James Gunn is going to be the problem at all. I don't think he would be a problem. I think Warner Brothers is still there, and they're still money hungry. It doesn't matter. Different people, same agenda.
They may
I don't
be
think so, man.
desperate,
I don't
though.
think so. But yeah, they're
So people in
definitely
Hollywood
desperate.
don't want to make money.
No, I'm saying desperate in a point that this is all or nothing.
Yeah, if this fails, you have to shelf DC for a while.
No, you could.
Yeah.
I mean,
They'll just do the same thing they've always done. Do another rehash of Batman.
Batman.
They'll
Yeah.
just put Batman back out there again.
just do some one shots.
Yeah, that's all they'll do.
What you would do. Yeah.
So like you wouldn't lose everything. You just wouldn't be able to get what the MCU has become. But you don't lose everything. You'll just always have Batman and Superman over and back, over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. If this fails, you have to put like the whole like universe kind of thing on the back burner for at least like 7 to 10 years and try it again when everyone forgets about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got faith in this one because it's Warner Brothers, but it's also Warner Brothers Discovery now, and Discovery, you know, I think Discovery knows how to. They know how to make money, but also make it so it's easy to make money. You know, because they did a lot of Discovery shows, which is a lot of like reality TV, a lot of other stuff like that. Like,
and how much of that takes editing?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the question.
Have you seen the Kardashians?
That's the real question.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, you know, it's like how much. I think they know this is Warner Brothers' baby. You know, if you want to make money, DC needs to be the number one. It needs to be the big boy.
This is Warner Brothers' baby, then they're like the bastard child of the Harry Potter of the babies, like stuff under the stairs, you know, with very little to eat. Like, I don't know if this is Warner Brothers' baby. maybe Batman is one of Warner Brothers' baby. That's it.
Yeah, you know, they've always banked on Batman. You know, very seldom have they branched out anywhere else. There was even like a Batman, you know, like Nolanized influence that hung over Man of Steel because they basically tried to copy the Nolan Batman Begins formula pretty much beat by beat with Man of Steel, and that didn't get like as great a response as they were hoping it would. I think that there is a lot of potential for DC if they do right by the characters. And just make good stories. The movies will sell themselves. You know, they kind of proved that. You know, with Marvel, like Iron Man wasn't like a, you know, he was a well-known enough character, but he wasn't like a, you know, he wasn't like a Spider-Man or X-Men or that sort of thing. But
Iron Man is not Batman.
No, but it was a great movie. It was a really well-made movie, and it sold itself. So just if you could do that, just make good movies. The movies are going to sell themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, James puts it best at the end of the video.
What's that?
James Gunn puts it best at the end of the video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. At the end of this video. Yeah. All right. So let's keep it going.
Lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman,
Marvelous,
which leads directly to our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about.
Right. So he's talking about all the
idea what any of those 4 movies. It's obvious he had no idea what any of those 4 movies about. None.
He's like, here's all the other shit I didn't touch, or I have no idea what's going on.
I mean, they could bank on the Flash because of Keaton, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But like he literally said, you know, the Flash is going to reset everything, and then I'm going to get rid of it. And then he was like, Blue Beetle, you know, it's going to be a teenage kid. Yeah, okay. And,
They're like,
you're right.
It was just joking. He has no idea what those movies are about at all. It's just it's obvious.
Yeah. But I think, well, he did say one thing that not in this video, but I believe in another article, I think the Variety article, and he said the Flash movie coming out.
Liked it a lot.
I think he said it's like it is going to be the best comic book movie ever. And I'm like, that's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Also, it's James Gunn, so is he trolling? Like, there's always that, like, you know, like, especially when it's on paper, it's words. You're like, is that like, oh yeah, it's the best movie ever?
Well, you know, he's overseeing this universe, and you know, he does there is a lot of stuff that he's not involved with that comes out this year. It's like, you know, what is he going to do? Say it sucks?
Yeah, he's gonna say like you know, Spider-Man is not as good. Why? Because it didn't have me, obviously. So now that I'm involved, this has a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is bad his ego. That's it.
Yeah. You gonna say something, Derpy?
I was saying it could, if they promote it right, it could probably bank a little bit. If they promote Keaton a lot.
It's just so hard, Derp.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
Canon, like, which is why I'm
exactly.
But
I'm curious how they'll do it though, because if they promote it that way,
it's too late. Like he shouldn't have said it.
He said it resets the universe.
Yeah, and then he said
it's basically a soft reboot.
He said it resets the universe, and then he says, and then I'm going to redo it with my movie right here.
Yeah,
it's like,
but I mean,
the universe, but none of this actually matters because everyone did. He's gonna kill everybody else.
But I think that makes it at least somewhat entertaining, where you're like, okay, like how are you going to put a the end of the Snyderverse, and then you're gonna start your universe, like, because that's what this is. You know, it's like it's the end of that, and it's it's gonna be Flashpoint, but I think people are gonna see.
I mean, to see Ezra Miller die.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
That'd be great.
They're gonna have like a stake in it's gonna be like watching was it the one with Logan, Old Man Logan? It's like that, and you're like, it's the death of everything that we thought we knew.
I mean,
that's just what it is.
Could work, but if they promote it like that,
but just what they're not going to say anything because they want to make money. Once again, this is why you guys are forgetting. This is a business. Warner Brothers is a business. They're trying to make money, and at the end of the day, money is going to matter.
I know, but considering where they're at as a company right now, if you've been looking at the news,
well, all it takes is one to make $1 billion to change all this crap.
He already did. He say it in this video or already? But he's already got 8 to 10 years planned out.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, I was reading up on that. Yeah,
but guess what? If one of them makes $1 billion, that plan's going to have to go back.
And he already said, like, because Zachary Levi came out and said something against Pfizer, blah blah blah. I think it was like misinterpreted a little bit. I don't think he's anti-vax, which a lot of people are claiming. Yeah, and he might be. I don't know. But either way, James Gunn's like, I'm not going to change my plans because somebody has an opinion. And I'm like, okay, that's not the worst thing. I guess it depends on how far that you want to go down that rabbit hole. But
I'm saying, but once again, that's not opinion. If you make $1 billion, things have to change.
Yeah.
$1 billion. Do you know how long they've been waiting to have $1 billion? $1 billion. I don't think you guys understand how much $1 billion really is. It's like all the last 5 movies that they had put together into one.
Yeah.
Maybe the Avengers.
This is what it is, and I'm saying it makes $1 billion. All this is gonna get scrapped, but I don't know.
No way. You're saying if this makes $1 billion, they're gonna put
one of those movies that they're going to continue that story.
Yeah, I don't think they would completely change the entire course of it.
But I'm saying, like, all this the way things are going to happen. Like, this is what's going to happen in 2025. This is what's happening in 2025. I'm saying that they will find a way to continue the story, and then he'll just say it's in this other extended universe.
I'd say it would be the Flash movie then.
Good. Yeah,
I mean, it could be that. It could, because if it's as good as everyone's saying it is, and Flash is not in the plans for the next couple of years, and it's that good, they're going to put another one out there. You don't make $1 billion and say, that's a good idea, but let's not do that again. Nobody.
If they did, they'd probably move forward with an actor who's a lot less problematic.
Yeah, that as well.
That I can see.
And at that point, I mean, you're already going to continue the story that this one starts, because it ends and it restarts, it reboots everything. So it's like, in a way, you're kind of like, it's Flashpoint. It's like, here, this story is going to end this and start this. And now when we start, we got all this new
but
stuff.
You have another movie after it. What if all this stuff? Aquaman's the one that makes $1 billion.
I could see that.
That I can see.
It already made $800 million before. If Aquaman turns around and makes $1 billion, everything that we're talking about is going to have to change. And
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, he will. He will. I think James Gunn would change it because he understands. He's not stupid. He knows that $100 million is different than $1 billion. He's not dumb.
I know he's not dumb because he wants to cast Jason Momoa as Lobo, the character that he should have played from the very beginning.
But if it's $1 billion, Brandon, it doesn't matter. If you want to see someone be pissed off, take $1 billion guy, put him into another character, and make $500 million and see what happens. See how fast you be out there on your ass. I'm just telling
I don't
you
know.
guys.
I'm not sure.
Aquaman
really
made a lot of money.
Yeah.
It made a lot, but the Aquaman movie wasn't that great of a movie. You know what I mean? So you're banking on visuals, and right now, all the movies that are making,
you're right,
like,
man.
no
movie with visuals makes billions of dollars. You're right.
Yeah, but how much money you have to put into that? Like James Cameron said, we have to make $2 billion just to break even, or something stupid. It was
but James Cameron is stupid. So come on.
Yeah.
Let's
be honest. But that's the thing. Aquaman was a lot of money. That was a lot of money they put in it, because they knew they needed to be visually good.
They still didn't put $200 million in it.
I gotta double check. But the visuals though are amazing. That's probably visually the best thing DC's come out with was Aquaman. They'll probably do something again, and it was a good story. It wasn't the best story. It was mid.
And he's entertaining. And when you have a superstar who's entertaining like that, things work out and you make $1 billion. And if you make $1 billion, you're not going to shut down the franchise. I'm just telling you, you're not.
I mean, if they do keep one, it will be him.
You can play whatever the hell you want to plan, but $1 billion changes your plans. Not that I'm saying they're going to scrap everything that James Gunn is saying in this video, because that would be stupid. That's billions of dollars of planning. But I'm saying the way things go out will change. The extended universe will change. They might have one-offs with just Aquaman. Or if Ezra Miller, not Ezra Miller, but if Flash is that great, they will just do Flashpoint and bring another Flash into the suit and make that $1 billion. I'm saying, but I feel like what I was trying to say is, I feel like James Gunn has left room for that. I feel like in the video, he said, this is not the entire slate. Yeah. So things can change. He's left himself wiggle room. But I'm just trying to let you guys know that if something makes $1 billion, everything's going to be called off. Like, they're going to be like, oh, it's not all over. We're going to resurrect us from the dead, and we're going to bring it back, just like they did Superman.
Yeah. It's kind of like it was, we heard about a month or so or two at this point, where some executives were like, oh, maybe we do keep Ezra Miller because the movie might be good. I guarantee Zaslav got out of his chair, walked over to whoever said that, and just pimp slapped him. It's like, what is your problem, man? You shut your mouth. You don't talk to anybody anymore. It's like, you don't, like, because that's stupid. It's like, and I feel like you can't have Ezra Miller, so you might as well reset it. The only one you might want to keep is Aquaman.
Flashpoint, though. It's Flash. We all know
we won't find out into the Super Bowl, supposedly, though.
You can literally just throw another person in the suit and just say he's from 616 or 666, like, or 8838. Like, he could do whatever. They could do what they did in the WB and go down to one Earth and say that Flash died, but we got this other one. They could do any of that stuff, and it all works out.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, then you're playing into James's hand anyway, and doing a reboot anyway.
You are what you're continuing the same story. So I'm saying that this thing can be changed. Just because we think we're getting these things down in 2025 doesn't mean that's all we're going to get.
Yeah,
and I think that he's not crazy. He's not the one I'm worried about, because I think he knows money needs to make money. You need to make money to prove your presence. That you're doing something well. I just think that we're so rigid. Like, this is what it has to be. It's not. If things make money, it doesn't mean it's the death of it. And that's why you release these movies in 2023, And this is what you see. This is why you see what happens. If it makes a lot of money, we can massage this thing back in here. If Peacemaker season 2 is great, well, let's go ahead and massage this back in here. And this is what I think that's with everything, because he's finally got control, but he can do whatever the hell he wants. And Warner Brothers is going to say, you make money, you keep.
Oh yeah, that's the ultimate thing. That's the ultimate. It's like ratings don't matter. It's like it's money, like you said, money that matters. But just with a Flashpoint, I think people are gonna go see it because Keaton's in it. I want to see Batman. I can give two shits about however they want to finish Ezra Miller. They want to run until he blows up and then resets. That's how Flashpoint starts. Like, whatever. I don't care. I want to see Keaton. I want to see Keaton.
Which is why I'm very interested how they'll promote it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Watch the trailers like prominently feature Keaton.
We're supposed to get a trailer at the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 weeks, couple weeks.
So we won't know until then.
But I will say this: Flashpoint is one of the most awesome, like, DC storylines that I've ever read. I enjoy Flashpoint. It
definitely
resets everything. It has everyone in it. So it's like it's not like this is like a non-entertaining thing. This is a serious story. It just has a crappy ass actor, But this is a serious story. You can fix that with the actor.
Yeah. Also, we're assuming we're getting Flashpoint. You know what I mean? Like, we thought Batman versus Superman was going to be the Dark Knight Returns, and it wasn't.
The only thing that it brought in from Dark Knight Returns was the mech suit and the "Believe me, I'll do it" line.
A couple stills.
Comic book film ever.
Yeah, Snyder flipped through a couple of pages of that and went, "Oh, mech suit," and just copied that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why we assume it's Flashpoint. It might be a bastard child of what he thinks Flashpoint might be, or whoever made.
And why does everyone say it's one of the greatest movies they've ever seen? I'm just saying, wait it out, guys. Let's see.
But people think Avatar is the greatest movie ever.
And it made $2 billion, and we're gonna have 5 more because of it.
Well, you didn't really start hearing like it's the best comic book movie ever until all the until the aftermath. It was happening in the wake of all the Ezra Miller controversy. So, on one hand it could be true, on the other it could be damage control, and like go see our movie.
Yeah,
you might be right.
I see that too.
You might be right.
I don't know, but even with the teaser trailer, who was the main kind of thing in the teaser trailer? Michael Keaton.
But it's a tease.
Michael Keaton,
Michael Keaton might only be in it for 20 minutes, and then Tank's gonna come back. What the hell?
Supposedly, the rumor is like he plays a big role in it.
But you don't have to be in there a lot to be a big role, right? I mean, I'm just saying. We'll see. Ask me about T'Challa.
Yeah. That's a whole nother can of worms. All right, let's keep it going.
Let's go.
So Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now,
I think that's going to be the difference maker.
The gaming?
Bringing in everything?
The gaming.
I think this is going to piss people off. That people are going to realize that, this Booster Gold thing, I think it's going to be animated, personally. But what if you see some of these things are only video games, that they have nothing to do with live action?
I think the video games they would do kind of what the Matrix did. I don't know if you ever played the Matrix games.
Like the Animatrix?
No, the games. So there's the Animatrix, like the actual, like side stories and all that. Enter the Matrix, where it's like, here's your main story, you know what I mean, and then the video game is like a side story of side characters doing shit that were like a few words, and then it plays the thing. I can see something like that. Like Booster Gold's here, and then like the video game is like him, doing shit in the other world or in the future, and like that. I can see something like that where it's like in between stuff, or like things like that. They're not a big.
You don't think actual properties might end up being animated or be
animated
video games, or just video games?
Maybe, but even like, well, I know he says like Swamp Thing is going to be part of the DCU, like the main canon. So I can see something like that being a video game. You know, like stuff that's like, and then
I think that's a good story that you can do. But I think with some of these side characters that they're seeing, that he is literally going to make video games and have a lot more animated than we were going to be used to. It's not going to be live action all the time.
No. I think it's going to be a lot of animated stuff, which is good because I like their animation stuff. Which is really good.
Because they're the best.
Maker to the MCU.
What was that?
Which is why I think it's going to be the difference maker between the MCU and the DCU.
Yeah. Because imagine playing as Tony Stark or playing as, you know, Thor or stuff like that. They tried doing it before. The game sucked. Like they just didn't put enough, I think, development into some of those games. But I can imagine like them bringing in the Batman movie, this and that, and like Nightwing shows up and blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, yeah, I was in Bloodhaven doing blah, blah, blah. You know, and then a month later, here's Nightwing doing that shit he said he was doing in the movie. You know, here's a game of him, you know, beating ass in Bloodhaven. You know, like that would be kind of interesting.
I also can see it going horribly wrong because you have to plan for the normies. You have to plan all your money making ideas around the normies. And if they're not going to go play the video game and you're going to say that you had to play this video game to understand where we're going next, might be a problem.
I don't think they would do that though, because that would be asking for a lot. That's asking for a lot for a normie, even for other people. Like shit, I can't play video games the way I used to. Right, I just don't have the time. You know, so like a show I can pop on during lunch and stuff at work. A video game, I have to sit down and play it. You know, so as much as I love video games,
that might be a bad idea, but it might be something they're thinking.
Yeah. If that's the way they go, that's it. I see video games being a side story, other things that kind of don't matter but kind of matter. It's like
I hope right, Dark Asylum. You know, I'm just saying, like, there's so many Batman video games that kind of mirrored the movies, but didn't really mean anything in the universe. What if one of these Batman movies? Now you have to play to understand where they're going next.
Actually, I've heard that the Arkham isn't canon.
That it is canon?
It's not.
It's not. Everything
yeah,
is
no.
young. Like it's
He's starting over. He's starting over.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
No, the Arkham games, those are not canon. I mean, they're fun, but I mean, I don't know if there's if anybody wants to play. There's a big crazy ending that happens that we're like, oh, cool, but yeah, that's not in anything besides its own little game. You know, I think this is like, I think I see the video games being played, and then like you're like, oh, that's how that statue is there. You know, like it's gonna be stuff like that. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be like you miss 5 years and you're like, oh, and now we're here. It's like, wait, how? You know, I think that'd be a little too much, because I think he learned from, because I'm sure he talks to Kevin Feige. They're like pretty close. Both said they are. So I think he kind of gets some pointers from Feige, because I'm sure Feige's like, you know what, maybe don't put a lot of story, because when WandaVision was out, awesome. Not everyone watched WandaVision. So once you saw Wanda in Doctor Strange, people were like, wait, where do these kids come from?
Film.
What was that? You broke up.
Why even bring that film up?
Yeah, but Marvel's trying to do that, trying to connect the TV and stuff. But if you connect it too much, it might be a little too much. You know, where like Loki is like its own story, it's all this other stuff, but you can not watch
King.
Loki.
You got Kang from that. You won't understand who Kang really is unless you watch Loki. So I think that that's what's gonna happen.
I don't think so. I think you can watch Ant-Man. Oh yeah.
Let's say play.
Keep it going.
Yeah, just play.
What I'm about to tell you is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action.
That right there.
The next project up is Waller.
So animated.
That right there, having the same actor or an actress popping in and out.
I think everyone wants that though.
Yeah.
Once again, you better make money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get some of these actors on a contract early on, you might be able to save some money that way and stuff like that. But
you're gonna pay. You have to pony up to get Jensen Ackles, and then he's not gonna just say, "I'm gonna take the same amount of money on the third movie too." No, that's not how. That's not how it works, guys.
Well, you can sign him on some good movies. They signed a lot of these MCU people early on to some big contracts or that like long contracts. So and now they're not. Now like everyone does like one or two.
No one's signing that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean you showed your hand. You're like, oh, you want me to sign 10 years for Marvel? Yeah. Back then, Marvel was like, what the fuck is this? It's not good. Whatever. 10 years? Cool. I'll be Captain America for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But once again, once you've seen Marvel do it, it's not like it's a new thing. It's not gonna be a new ploy.
Yeah. It's been done before. I see that.
Creature Commandos does feel like James Gunn. It really does.
Yeah. It's very much up his alley. More obscure, lesser known characters directly up his alley.
And he's writing it. I can see him writing
which
something.
Which is why
like
I like the approach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So he's talking about Waller.
This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people.
Can I just point out a fact right there?
Yeah.
Like real quick. Did you guys see his face? Like his facial reactions?
I mean, he was kind of giddy. He looked kind of happy, like big smile.
And see, we've been missing that. As a DC fan, we've been missing that. As at Warner Brothers, we've been missing that. Someone that is excited for their projects instead of hiding.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, all I heard was Waller's going to be in Peacemaker too.
That's what's concerning too.
That's all I heard. I didn't hear anything important at all. I was like, keep playing.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. Well, also he's excited because it's like he gets to play with his toys again.
He's excited because he's been talking by himself and no one else is there. He's like, I get to say what the hell I want to do. That's why he's excited.
All right. Let's keep
Okay.
going.
Next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing.
Superman All-Star, question mark?
I'm in.
Superman All-Star. I can see that. I can see that. There's another one I heard too. Damn it. Basically Waller is Peacemaker too. I think Waller's gonna be like Peacemaker 1.5.
Yeah,
because I did read something saying it's planned to take place in between season 1 and 2 of Peacemaker.
Yeah, because they delayed season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I can see Superman All-Star, but I'm kind of so many people are worried about him writing Superman. Yeah, like can he do it?
I don't know.
The man wrote Guardians. Give him a break.
Yes, Guardians is easy to write because there's only 11. There's only 11 comics in an entire run of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Fair.
There's 111 years of Superman. Come on, like that's like, can you do Superman right? That it's so hard and whatever.
I don't think it's difficult to do Superman right.
It's not.
You know.
Then how come no one can do it?
Tone in the writing. It's always the tone in the writing.
Yeah, it all boils down to the tone, you know. And he even said in an interview, I was reading up on the tone that he said he was going for, and it's going to be, and what really sold me on it. He said it's going to be about Clark balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing, and basically, doing what he does, which is fighting for, standing for truth, justice, and the American way. Boom. It seems like he understands it.
Max Fleischer vibes? Question mark.
Say what?
Golden Age? Question mark.
Golden Age. Yeah, that'd be nice.
He talks about that in here the video. So
yeah. So, but Superman, we got Superman. That's gonna be the beginning of it. So he said,
is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over
Lethal Weapon in space.
In it, they discover a terrifying mystery.
Which one of us said this word for word yesterday? I said
Yeah.
it's the second movie was going to be Green Lantern.
Mhm.
Well,
it's not a TV show, but
it's a TV series because it's going to be on HBO Max. It could be a movie, but it's still be HBO Max.
I think being a show is better because you're able to get deeper and stuff.
Lethal Weapon in space.
When he said he's going for like a true detective vibe.
True detective. I can see that. That's kind of interesting. Because I can imagine bouncing around.
Seeing from their point of view, seeing what's going on. So I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, Lethal Weapon would be kind of cool, but it might be a little too on the nose for James Gunn with it being like too funny. And then also, who would be the off the wall kind of guy? Because it wouldn't be John, and John would be the newer guy, quote unquote, right?
And they're both very measured, very detective-y. So
both with military people. You have Air Force,
Marines,
yeah. So I don't see one of them being too goofy. I think both of them being very, very much like True Detective. Like, and now that's like I was like when he said that I was like, ooh, I like that. I like
which one's who's going to be Marty and who's going to be Rust though?
I don't know. Wasn't Alexandra Daddario like? Wasn't that like her first big thing? Was True Detective?
Well, there were two big things, but
Yeah, exactly.
And I think her first big thing was still that movie with the Titans, whatever.
But this is the project that I'm most interested in.
Yeah,
same.
Because
I did not think we were going to get it. I didn't think we were going to get it.
Yeah, I was curious to see if there was going to be anything Green Lantern related. This is better than what I expected in terms of Green Lantern. Definitely, Green Lantern's my favorite DC character.
You had to bring someone of a different culture into this. You had to, and that's why you have to bring in Jon Stewart. There's no question because there's a lack of diversity in DC. There's no diversity. Yeah. So and for this to really make it,
I do think they'll ditch Hal at the end of this.
They have to because they have to go full in with Jon Stewart because there is no other black character in all DC. Yeah. As much as you can say they got great characters, they have no diversity at all.
Do you think John would be like the Green Lantern who joins? Because let's face it, Justice League will happen in this universe. So he'd be the Lantern.
You made Green Lantern cool, just saying.
Yeah. That's the Green Lantern Corps. I think this one's gonna be like the Green Lantern Corps kind of because he said there's gonna be other ones sprinkled in or peppered in, whatever he said. But,
you got to have other members.
Very interesting word to use, pepper.
Was why
black flakes in the little milk. Just saying, whatever.
Yeah,
go ahead, play. Go ahead.
But real quick, I've been saying it. I'm like, you bring both of these guys in at the end of this. You obviously don't kill Hal, but you send Hal to deep space. Like, oh shit, you go figure that out over there. And then John is like, I'm gonna go back to Earth and have them figure it out. Because like I don't know, might be the threat might start there. I don't know, but Jon Stewart's gonna join the Justice League. And Hal Jordan's going to be out in space doing deep space shit, and then they meet back up for, whatever big finale, Justice League kind of thing they do. But live action TV, I'm in for it. I was super excited when he announced that because I did not see it. So even though Brian called it and I just, my expectations were down.
That's what we did.
What was that?
Just put it aside. It's not happening. Whatever.
Yeah, I did not think it was going to happen, and then it's going to play a big role, like he's about to say. So,
our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU, and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series.
Anything about The Authority?
Admittedly, these are characters I'm not very familiar with.
It sounds so much like James Gunn.
But and again, they're more obscure characters. Falls under definitely James Gunn's MO.
From what I've read, they're basically anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the little that I was able to read up on throughout the day, same. So,
but with like powers similar to Superman.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like The Boys to me.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what it is.
Sorry, missed a few comments here. For a lot of people, John is the Green Lantern because of the cartoon. For me, yeah, John was my first Green Lantern that I knew.
Yeah,
of.
he was the first one I had gotten real exposure to. I was definitely aware of like the when I had started reading DC, like the first Green Lantern I was familiar with was Kyle Rayner, and then after that it was John Stewart. He was the first one that I had really seen, in the context of the cartoon. And then I went back even further and discovered Hal Jordan. So Good.
Because when I started reading, Hal was already dead when I started reading the comics. So I didn't get Hal until Jeff Johns brought him back. But yeah, and then John Boyega, John Stewart. Okay, I like it. That's a good fan cast.
I wouldn't necessarily mind it. I would maybe like someone who kind of looks a little bit older, I guess.
I mean, by the time we're able to get to this, John Boyega will be like 40.
Will be older, yeah.
Ever since Attack the Block over a decade ago, that he's perpetually looked 19, 21.
Yeah.
Don't blame us. Don't blame us. Don't do that to us. No.
Oh no, I'm not blaming. But yeah. I wouldn't mind him as Stewart because he's that great an actor.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
yeah.
If it were up to me, I'd get like a Trevante Rhodes.
Too old.
Too old. Okay.
Isn't he only like 29?
But John Boyega's 30.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and looks younger than Trevante Rhodes.
And then we got told, I think the Authority will be a sleeper hit. 100% agreed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be It's gonna be like the Guardians. They're like talking tree, and then it's one of the best things. It's gonna be the same thing with this. And I have no idea
too, but there's no way that he could be how no
be John.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, John Stewart. That's no way.
No. The Midnighter. Oh no, I guess that's one of the Authority people. Midnighter and Apollo are like gay Batman and Superman. Is it that and was it the
ambiguously gay duo?
Yeah.
One of the greatest SNL skits ever.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Except Midnighter kills. There you go.
Hey, so Superman and Batman.
According to Snyder.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, they've done it before, but yeah, we're not gonna get into that whole argument. All right.
Series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is a story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. Like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the DCU's Batman is the brave
angle.
Here we go.
Story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run. Damian Wayne is my favorite Robin. He's a little.
I actually like this.
Who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU.
So it's a good angle to go with. Like I said, establishing the Bat family. A Batman who's been at it for a while, presumably not as long as the Affleck Batman was at it. You kind of it leaves a little more room to kind of flesh that out. I'm really excited to see the Bat family. I like that.
Yes.
It leaves enough room to do more with, say, Nightwing or Red Hood or Red Robin. And I think if Gunn has a hand in the writing with this, he's just he'll very much do right by Damian Wayne, just making him arrogant and cocky and entitled and just a little son of a bitch. I'm cool with them starting with Damian. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's fun. You got anything, Brian?
Nope.
I mean,
it's the one thing I like.
This is a film. This is because I love Batman. It's diehard Batman fan.
Sure.
See, This is a film that the general audience don't know about as a consumer, and this is why it's a great idea. You basically see comic book fans will know what it's about, but the general audience won't, which is why people will consume it.
Yeah, it's Batman, but different, but also very much the same. It's kind of like you get both worlds of like being different, but not too different, and fun and new.
I like what Horror Geek is saying though.
Yeah. Yeah, so he said Bat Family Heart. Hopefully they remember Damien is Middle Eastern Chinese because of the comments are so inconsistent with that. Yeah, because
I hope so too.
Talia and Ra's al Ghul are in the comic, I believe, are more like Middle Eastern.
Actually, I didn't think about that. You are right.
They're supposed to be Middle Eastern, yes.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, I'd be interested with that.
Yeah,
I think they could get a good cast. Yeah, I think you got to find like the right kind of young teen actor.
You got to find the right kid actor for sure.
Yeah.
It's such a gamble and such like it's such a crapshoot when it comes, because sometimes you could get great tolerable kid actors. Other times you get ones like the one from Black Adam.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
And I almost held my tongue when it came to that, but I just couldn't.
You've never held your tongue at all.
So I'm interested to see where they go with that. They need a really solid actor for Damien. I'm curious to see how that pans out. That could be cool. I'm curious about a lot of that. I'm curious to see who directs. An
absolute brat.
He needs to be an absolute little brat, like a little bastard. Yeah.
Know-it-all, little badass.
Like I said, he needs to be an entitled little son of a bitch.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see. And the dynamic, there's a lot of room for the dynamic between him and Bruce to be a lot of fun. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Curious to see who the villain will be, or villains. Hoping for Court of Owls. That'd be dope.
I think that'd be cool. Go with Deathstroke.
Deathstroke could be good.
Because technically Ben Affleck was in talks to actually direct this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Damien comes Talia and the League of Assassins. That's what I thought it might be too. It would be that there's an animated one. I forgot what it's called, but
Son of Batman?
She I think so. She just drops off Damien, goes, "Here's your kid," and then kind of the League and Roz and Talia are kind of the bad guys, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then that's such a great way to start it. It's like she just like knocks on the door, all like sexy and boobs out and stuff, and she's like, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And she's like,
drops Damien on his doorstep.
Here's your little bastard. Yeah. As he's like slicing shit apart and
Tony.
So yeah.
I see Jensen screaming with that gruff voice. I said no killing Damien.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that. Definitely see that.
So I like it. I forgot what movie. Well, another one of the movies where Bruce goes on a date and then Nightwing is like making fun of him. It's like, "Oh, hey, like, where you going? You going out having some fun?" And then as he's on his way to the date, Damien calls him. And he's way more different. He goes, "So I heard you're going on a date, or Pennyworth told me you're going on a date. Did you bring protection?" He goes, "Your choice of women aren't the best, hence my mother." It was like, Batman is like so out of focus because he's talking this talk with his son and he almost crashes. It's like, it's a great scene. Yeah, that's who we need. Somebody that could throw Bruce Wayne off his game because it's his son.
I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of potential to really kind of he is. There's a lot of potential to really kind of set itself apart from a lot of the other a lot of the other live action iterations of Batman, which do have a lot of similarities at the core from time to time. So this I like the idea.
Yeah.
Of this.
Same. Yeah, bring in the Bat Family. Love it.
I do think they should open the film with Nightwing and Bruce.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Seeing them like old times, not in the job, or doing them like out solving crime and all that. Fighting crime. All that.
Yeah, or something similar to like kind of like the opening of Under the Red Hood.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of my favorite
Yeah.
Batman movies.
I think you're adding too much
as a whole, by the way.
You're doing too much, and we don't even know who the Batman is yet. So I mean, just
You're right.
Gotta let the story develop first before we.
Well, wishful thinking. We don't know who anyone is just yet, so
Yeah, except for Momoa.
Except for Momoa,
or
the
Booster
role he
Gold.
should have played from the beginning.
I know who Booster Gold is.
Yeah,
It's Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gunn has already said he's probably going to end up using actors that he's used in the MCU. Booster Gold probably will be Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I could see Chris Pratt as Booster.
Even though if I had my way, like I was saying yesterday, it would be Glenn Powell. I think he'd be great.
He'd be great, and he's young, good actor. Yeah. He'd be great. All right, let's keep it going.
So this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future.
Yeah, that fits Chris Pratt.
Future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him. It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series.
He said it's basically Chris Pratt's life story.
Yeah.
That's literally
Like I said yesterday, did I not call Booster Gold? Did I not say that was going to happen under James Gunn?
Yeah.
Which is HBO Max series. So.
Like it's I know I'm blocking it, but at the bottom it tells you what it is going to be. So it says live action television, but yeah, so it kind of tells you like what each one's going to be. But yeah, I'm in for a Booster Gold. I like it. It could be fun and goofy, very much James Gunn. But
favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
I'm excited for this one.
So we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film. Now, Superman is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents, whereas Supergirl in this story, she is a character raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched
Crypto? I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I got to go back. They use crypto very sparingly, like in the newer stuff. But
watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way. So she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about, a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU, it will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are...
So that's interesting because they're kind of like what Brian was saying earlier, where like it's outside of the DCU, but it feeds into the stories. I don't know what that means. It sounds cool.
No, no one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Yeah.
It gets the people going.
Exactly.
Actually, from what I've heard, I've heard, I don't know if you heard this, Ram. I think they're doing Justice League Dark.
Me too. Because if you remember, Derp, they were trying to do that years back. They were trying to get that off the ground, and I know Guillermo del Toro was involved at one point, like he is with like the other like 20, 30 projects that he's involved with at a time. But yeah, I think that's kind of, it leaves the door open for more of the darker elements of the DC universe. Swamp Thing, that leaves the door open for John Constantine, Deadman, Zatanna. So yeah, it kind of leaves the door open for more of the supernatural elements. I think Justice League Dark is definitely in the pipeline. I totally agree.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be the first one, but bringing in Swamp Thing, I think, is definitely the first step to like the trail that's gonna lead into like the big supernatural dark stuff.
That's a good way to kick it off too.
Yeah. I mean, once you bring in John Constantine, that's it. You're like, you're gonna do it. When are you doing it? Just ask that question. But yeah.
I do think their end game is Kingdom Come, though.
Kingdom Come could be awesome.
That'd be cool. They
need 15 years
for that. If that,
probably more.
Just because of what he teased a couple months ago.
Show me 5, and then I'll believe it. I have to see 5 first.
Yeah, it's Well, he's pretty much done. Or we'll just finish it up. There's like another 40 seconds.
The stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC
Look at his
characters
face.
since I
He's
was
so
a child.
excited.
They're incredibly important to me. I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers,
pause it right here.
all of the creators.
Say it with me, fellas. What word is he bringing up right here?
Collaboration?
No. Have you not seen the video?
Yeah, I don't remember. I know he said something. He said something at the end that
storytelling.
Storytelling, yeah.
Here's my issue then is also that he's saying he's writing a lot of this stuff, and that without the director, so a lot of stuff could change as the directors are chosen.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like, we're going to have the directors and the writers are all going to figure it out. We're all going to be able to kumbaya, and I'm like, how do you know?
Well,
ask Kevin Feige.
He's definitely focused on storytelling, especially with the writers.
Feige's had a lot of problems. Feige's has a lot of problems with directors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My point is, unlike a certain visual director we recently had, who didn't focus on storytelling.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Big contrast there.
But even if he did focus on storytelling, he would mostly just do it with ideas, which Warner Brothers hated, and they went the route that we did.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, and we said it all the time that the last guy was all about making things look pretty. Yeah, and then mid-level storytelling. But
that shit was below mid-level. That shit was trash. Trash.
That has nothing to do with the Spoiler Kings. I don't want any notes being written.
I
don't want you to involve Brian Waller. I don't want you to say anything Brian Grizzly, nothing like that. That is not my opinion. That is them over there. Don't trust me. It's them.
You're totally right.
Go directly to
Gunn
on
that hill.
And go to Gunn and the Brand Man, and you can go Tank individually. But Spoiler Kings, we do not agree with that necessarily at all.
You do. You just don't want to admit it.
I know where I stand. I'll stake my claims on line. I'll die on some islands. That's not what I'm not.
I will die on that hill. I said what I said.
No, it'll be an island because it'll be people coming all around. That's what I'm telling you. This is a fractured.
Let them
fan
come.
Base. It's a fractured fan base, and that's what I'm mostly worried about. So let's see what he can do to bring it together.
You say it's fractured. I say it's not. You know why? Because they're all talk. They don't support the shit that they say they support. If they did, Black Adam would have made $300,000. Yeah, you know what I mean, it would have made money.
It's 300 million, almost
300
million,
almost 400. You know what I mean? Like
Dwayne was right about the hierarchy of power in the DC universe changing, wasn't he?
Yep.
I mean, honestly, they didn't make any money on any other movie, so it didn't really matter. So yes, it did. It didn't really
Granted,
matter.
it probably played out a little different in his mind, but the man wasn't wrong.
You're the world's tallest small person. Still a small person. I mean, it just is.
But that was their last shot for redemption. The last shot for redemption, and no one supported it. So I mean, we supported it more than probably other people did. So
and while there were elements of Black Adam that I thought were entertaining enough,
it was fun.
It was fun.
It was a fine movie.
The best. That was the best. That's the best.
It was a fine movie. It was it was fine. There's nothing that was really wrong. But my point is, if DC doesn't start supporting DC, all this shit will mean nothing.
Yeah. All they got to do is make solid quality content. It'll sell itself.
It comes down to the Superman film.
Content.
It comes down to Superman. Yeah. You get him right, you're off to a very good start.
And Superman is hard to get it right. I'm just telling you guys, there's been so many Supermans that failed.
Yeah,
I think so many.
I think all you got to do is get the correct filmmakers involved. We had a good Superman movie with the first Richard Donner movie. Unfortunately, Bryan Singer came in with Superman Returns and just tried to copy Richard Donner's style when it was time for something new and then they went the
That was
Nolan
so
route,
bad.
thinking it was the way to go, with Man of Steel, and it wasn't. They had a great actor. They had a great casting choice for Superman, an actor who was very passionate about the role, but unfortunately, he was just often saddled with subpar content. Unfortunately,
Yeah. The issue for me with a lot of Supermans in the past were the creator, the directors, their egos got in the way.
egos. Yeah.
Like, I could do Superman better if I make him do this instead of what Superman normally does. Like, let Superman be Superman. Man of Steel was a Superman movie without Superman. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't have the heart. It didn't have like the essence of Superman. Like, yeah, there's a guy in a cape flying around and shit. He looked cool, but it was missing that thing that made Superman that character.
And thusly, it ended up feeling hollow. Unfortunately,
I mean, you didn't even name the movie Superman. You called it Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, yeah.
What dumb move is that? It's like
they wanted to Nolanize it. They wanted to go the Batman Begins Dark Knight route.
I'm just telling you guys, I've seen more terrible Superman movies than good.
Yeah.
So stop telling me it's easy to write a Superman movie. It's not.
If you
not
get
because
there's no proof. No, there's no proof. It's when you someone who is all powerful, supposed to be all American, all that stuff. It's too hard to write without either killing the character or making him feel like he's undeserving. It is a hard thing to do.
Well,
so give them the props now and say, if you pull this off, you've done something special. And not let's say it's just easy to do. It's not easy. This is a hard thing to pull off. And if you can,
well, in terms of characteristics, you could almost say something similar about Captain America, and they did very well with him.
I don't think they did. I think the first movie was terrible, and they learned from it. Yeah, and they learned from it. They had to learn from it. But Marvel has done that already. They've gone ahead and made headway with people, and they can afford to mess that up.
But as you said,
DC does not have that opportunity. They cannot set it up.
As you said, they did improve the character over time. What's to say that
But you just said 30 seconds ago that this has to hit. Like, my point is, if it doesn't hit, you won't have the opportunity. Mm-hmm. This is it, and it's hard. So you have a character that's hard to make because you don't relate to him. Mm-hmm. He's unrelatable, and it's going to be hard to write this movie and make sure he's relatable. Because if it doesn't hit, everything goes down the drain.
Well, can you relate to a billionaire in a titanium suit?
No, I just like him better. No, I mean, because he has flaws. He's still human. He still has character flaws. Superman doesn't have character flaws. That's why you can't relate to him.
I disagree. I
disagree because an example of his character flaws. For an example, like just to throw one out, the movie Superman versus the Elite. In that he's balancing, his morality, his morals that were instilled in him as a child growing up in rural America are challenged by the elite, who everyone is saying are getting the job done better than he is. I think if you get the storyline right, if you present a good conflict for the character, it definitely is possible. That's what makes.
So if you do that movie, you're bringing out characters they don't care about, and that's why you fail. I'm telling you, there's reasons behind everything why you could fail for this. I'm just saying it's difficult.
There's a lot.
You have to do it right. You really have to do it right.
Which is why sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Derpy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Which is why I heavily believe that he's drawing elements from All-Star.
Yeah, which was a great storyline, by the way.
You need to idolize Superman. You make him, if you can't make him relatable, make him untouchable. Make him that great, unbelievably great. I feel like you have to do one or the other. You can't. It's hard to humanize this guy, so let's make him unbelievably untouchable, that great.
I'm not worried about the humanization because he's humanized a talking raccoon. He's humanized a talking tree.
Aspect.
Yeah.
What was that?
Go to the reporter.
I want more of the reporter aspect.
I would like that.
So he has to learn how to even interact with humans, like, and how to be in the big city and all those other things again. So
I think that is a lot of that's going to stem from, his, like I said, his upbringing at the hands of Jonathan and Martha Kent. I think that, it kind of, and kind of there's a lot of fun to be had with kind of like the bumbling, kind of basically country, farm boy element, versus the big city, the kind of culture clash in that regard, because that was always a constant in the comics between.
You have to get people to care, and
who's to say they can't?
This is a different world, and that's why I'm saying my point is still the same. It's not going to be easy. So if they do it, give them their flowers. It's not easy. So if they do it, give them their flowers. That's all.
Was it easy for Marvel?
It's not easy for anyone, but they have. It's more difficult with a perfect character. It's hard to make him interesting. So if he does it, let's just give him the flowers. Instead of trying to argue that it's easy, it's not. Trust me, a lot of people have failed. I can name you 2 good Superman movies that have ever been made, ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my point. It's difficult. Let them. If he does it, if he pulls it off, let's give him his flowers and let's say yes, good job. That's it.
Yeah.
And
if he does it. If he does it, then he's
tone.
Well, the tone. But like for me, I want to see a Spider-Man 2 kind of scenario where you're fighting amongst himself, and that's what Superman always does. Is like he has to hold himself back. He has to check himself. He's his biggest enemy because he has to fight against his morals. He has to fight against all this other stuff. That's why, like Injustice is a great storyline because you see when he does let go and he goes full out bonkers. So with that, I think with this one, it's like a Spider-Man thing. Is like shit. It's the issue of being human and living a life, especially after he finds Lois Lane. He's like, oh my God, I love somebody. So now it's not just being Superman all the time, So very much like I watched Spider-Man 2 the other day. It was on TV. I'm like, oh my God, this movie's so great. The graphics, but it was also 20-something years ago. But the premise is still good.
Spider-Man 2 is my favorite of all of them.
It is. It is. But I mean, the graphics. You forget when it was made. So the graphics, but the graphics have nothing to do with how great the storytelling is done in that. And right now, James Gunn is, I think, focused on that. And I think if we can get a good Superman film, it'll be good. If we get a great Superman film, it's game over. I mean, I think he gets the keys.
Superman, if you can make Superman entertaining and people want to go see a story that they already know, and it blows up and is great. He can get it for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like literally,
you give him the keys.
But it's literally make or break. So let's not say it's so simple and he fucks up. It's like this is make or break. This is it. And I don't want you to just get rid of it because some of these ideas are great.
Yeah.
My only problem is it's very, very, very white.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's not very female. And the world is not going towards that right now.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I mean, it is. It's what the DC is. That's where it is.
Yeah, I mean that's just like kind of comic books in general, minus the last couple years. Like
at least you've had characters, but you don't even have characters. Like you don't. There's no one you can do. Like Superman is the greatest character of all time. Besides, Batman and Superman are the 2 greatest characters ever created. You can't change the race of them because that wouldn't be Batman or Superman. Like that's what they are.
Yeah,
that's hard.
Yeah, but definitely more excited about Supergirl because of the immigrant angle they go with her. I
do like that.
It makes for a good contrast between this movie Superman Legacy and then just like you said, the immigrant aspect there. That'll be interesting. Wonder if they're gonna.
Excited about that one.
Yeah, wonder if they get a new actress to play Kara, or if the actress that's playing her in the Flash is gonna carry over.
It's
interested to see what happens there.
But I feel like it's so many years later. We're talking about that could be 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it'll probably end up being someone new. I'm thinking.
And then if you have a new director, you have to bring that director with you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say one thing though?
Yes.
Go ahead.
As comic fans, can we, and in general, like, can we appreciate how well James Gunn thought through this?
Oh yeah.
3 months.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He definitely he put out a good slate. I think a really great slate. But also it looks great on paper. But now that he gave it to us, can you pull it off?
I don't know if
that's the issue. That's the issue. It looks great on paper, and he's saying this is not even all of chapter 1, which I also love the whole chapter thing. Gods and monsters, great. It was like, oh, you got sold. That's a great title, especially with something for DC with all the god level people and all the crazy monster kind of villainous people as well. Great, but can he pull it off, man? He gave us a lot.
Let's just focus on making Superman the best.
Exactly.
Focus on that.
That's what it's going to come down to: promoting it, the tone, and then the execution of the film with the writing.
Because you know what? As much as I don't want to make it hard, but if he messes up Superman, there'll be a lot of people that don't give him an opportunity. And as I said, this fan base is very fractured still. No matter how you want, it's still fractured. And if he does a great Superman movie, guess what happens? Starts bringing people back together.
Yeah. I mean, you can't say a good movie sucks. There's gonna be people out there trying to say it, and they always say shit like that. Like, oh, it really sucked. Like, okay, it says otherwise on everything else. Yeah, but I mean, I think you're always gonna have those people.
There's people that don't like Dark Knight. I'm like, well, it's still the greatest movie, comic book movie ever. So you can not like it all you want, but it's billions of people that went to go see it.
Well, like the Batman, we're all, I think, big fans of the Batman. Big Afford Entertainment, which we did a show with them earlier this week on Saturday with Chillmonger. He doesn't like it. He thinks it's not a good movie. And every time he's on a panel when it comes up, everyone's like, "You're crazy, man. You're crazy. What are you talking about?" But it is what it is. What's up, Zach?
What's going on, Zach?
All right, but I think we need to start finishing up.
Yeah,
we went for way longer than expected. Great slate.
Every time we pause, I was like,
"Here we
go." I was like, every time we pause, I was like, "Here we go, guys."
Yep. But overall, man, great slate. I think it's a great pitch for what we can have. Right now, he's at a point where he can't really mess up, because if he messes up, the Snyder fans are there ready to like just attack. They're the vultures in the sky, flying around ready to start eating at anything. So
it's and weird. I feel like he has to hope for that these movies do well enough to give him money, but not well enough to mess up his plans.
Mm-hmm.
And then he still has a fractured fan base at the same time. He's got to dodge minefields. It's gonna be hard. As long as but maybe if he shuts up and just does what he's gonna do, then no one has to worry about anything.
So real quick, in the Variety article, I was looking for this for a while. All in the slate that co-leads announced on Monday will run through 2027. So all of this shit, everything we just talked about, everything he just said, all these movies and TV shows and animated whatever, that's all through 2027.
Well, that's because not a lot of them are movies.
4 years.
A lot of them are
TV shows.
And animated
I thought
series.
we'd get them Justice League by 2027, 2028. Jeez.
No.
I've
told you guys, he has to put 2 movies out a year to get to where when you want to get him, and he's not going to be able to do it right now.
I guess we won't get into the 30s.
I mean, we're getting so much in between, because 2025 is when Superman comes out, right there, and then he's got 2 years to release a Batman movie, a Green Lantern show, all the other shows, all 2 years for all of this that he's saying. The Authority, Brave and the Bold, Supergirl, Swamp Thing, Commandos, Waller, Lanterns, Paradise Lost, Booster Gold. 2 years. That's a lot. As you see,
none of those are movies.
Here's the question: who would you have direct the Superman?
Swamp Thing is a movie. Supergirl movie. Brave and Bold movie.
That's a great question.
Because he's just writing the film.
Well, but those are animated. Two of those were animated movies, weren't they?
No, they're all live action.
Really? I see that. I thought that some of those were animated movies. Go back to it. I don't want to hear him again. Don't do it again.
No. But
three more minutes.
But I'm just gonna show. Where is it? Here. So, Creature Commando TV animation, right? Waller, TV live action. Superman film. Green Lantern TV live action. The Authority film. Batman. Booster Gold TV live action. Supergirl film. Swamp Thing film.
And Swamp Thing's the one that end.
Yeah, so that's Superman live action. The Authority live action. That's what it looks like.
Awesome.
Yeah, Brave and Bold live action. Supergirl live action. Swamp Thing live action. Creature Command, this animated series. That's the only one that is said. I mean, it doesn't mean that some of these other ones might not be, but as of right now, that's the only animated one is that one. Waller's going to be there, which you're going to have Viola Davis. Lanterns are going to be there. Paradise Lost and Booster Gold. That's a lot in 2 years. That's a lot. And he's saying that's not even all of chapter 1. So, I mean, chapter 1 probably goes past 2027.
Probably.
Yeah, that's if it goes well.
Which I
think honestly, I think Superman's going to be, maybe. And then if he does great, with abstract things. So I'm hoping, that he comes up with a banger, with the second movie.
Yeah. And to address what Derpy asked, because I think I heard him ask who we should direct the Superman Legacy movie.
Because he's writing it.
Yeah, he's writing it. They said he may or may not direct it. Personally, if I had my way, he would not direct it.
I hope not.
I would say Christopher McQuarrie, who's been doing the last handful of Mission Impossible movies. I think he might be good. See him doing it. Trying to think who else.
Yeah, I don't know with directors. I would have to look at a few other ones. But like you said, like Brian said, I know writers write, and then once the director comes out, that's a whole different movie. Like perfect example, RoboCop. Frank Miller wrote RoboCop 1 and 2. Once the director got it, he did whatever the hell he wanted to do.
He did, yeah. He completely went off the rails, right?
Yeah. Frank Miller's like, I didn't write that. He's like, I don't give a shit. Who the fuck are you? It's like, so
exactly.
But obviously, you can't do that when James Gunn is also. I wrote it and I'm your boss, so But I'm sure there's.
But they know if you're going to have a good director, that's what you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play nice.
I think if he's going to direct anything in these, I'd keep him kind of relegated to like the more obscure characters. Like I said, like I know he said The Authorities is basically a passion project of his, so go ahead and direct that. He's already written Creature Commandos. Go ahead and direct each episode of that. But I'd kind of like to see other directors handle. Some of the other content, obviously, I want to see someone else direct Superman. I want to see someone else direct Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, all those things.
I can see him trying to hold on to Superman because if it doesn't go well, he'd rather have your own future in your own hands. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if he's writing it. But I would kind of like to see how he would do kind of collaborating with a different director.
It's just the first one. It can't fail.
Yeah.
So I could understand someone want to have your own future in your own hands. Like, I'm going to determine if this is good. This has got to be me. I can see him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because then you run the risk of that. Yeah, go ahead, Derby.
Sorry. What if Spielberg did it?
Spielberg would be good.
It'll be amazing.
Super amazing, Spielberg would be ideal. Yeah. I was kind of thinking Spielberg or like
just because the tone.
Yeah. Years back, I would have even said Robert Zemeckis, but he's been screwing up in recent years. Yeah. So,
So Zack said he's mixed on this slate. Which ones?
I think you guys are looking at it as fans, and I'm telling you, as a black guy, I'm very I'm not mixed because there's no mixing in it. There is no mixing.
There is no
There's
mix.
nothing there. I'm very looking at that like, how am I going to really fall in love with any of these projects?
That is true.
I cannot tell you I'm going to fall in love with any of these projects. And I'm telling you that I'm not a minority voice. Like we seen what the recast T'Challa, what these voices can do. So I'm just saying that's my worry. I look at it and I'm like, y'all better do some banging ass Green Lantern because this is it. And it's not a movie. So like that's it. That is it. Everyone else is a white male, not named Supergirl.
Yeah. I mean, he's bringing back Viola Davis and then Jon Stewart, and that's pretty much it.
Yep, that is it. And Viola Davis is still being surrounded by everybody else,
and by a bunch of other people, yeah. And their TV, they're not even on the big screen. So
exactly. I'm just throwing that out there, guys. You feel very, very second-handed or very your buddy, like you're the secondary star. You have no star, and that's a lot of America. I mean, there's not a brown, black, beige, yellow. Like there's not a lot of variety there. It's not just me. Like it's not just.
I mean, you would have to go Damien as a
as Middle Eastern,
Asian kind of something like that.
Half Middle Eastern, half white. You have to.
Yeah. I can see using
Nubia and Paradise Lost.
Okay.
But that once again, it's not heroic. It's
Yeah.
And
yeah. You. So another show. Yeah, it's still another show.
I mean, I mean, you guys are looking at it like, oh, with these girls with glasses. I'm like, and in the end, I'm still looking at it like, come on, man, give me something.
Yeah. That's kind of true. I mean, because especially like Marvel gave us Black Panther, so it's already proven. It's already proven that like a high class black superhero can really that especially when it's told well can really change the whole slate of everything.
Let me know when Static happens.
Yeah,
I really want a Static Shock movie.
Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get it anytime soon because that wasn't anything that was discussed.
But he said this is not all of it.
He said this isn't the whole of
but
the.
How can you make more than? How can you make more movies? As you just said, there's 6 movies out there. You're not going to make more movies.
Yeah, like these have to knock it out of the park. Well, that's why, like Zach said, he wanted to see them establish the 7 and then go obscure. I think he's trying to do a little bit both, though.
But it hurt my feelings when I read it, and then he talked about when he said Blue Beetle at the beginning. He was like, he's a Hispanic kid, very cool, going to be a cool movie, and that's what he said about it. I was like, what the fuck?
He said Hispanic kid?
Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
Blue Beetle is Mexican.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, you're saying Gunn said that?
Oh, yeah.
When he discussed it, yes, he exactly what he said.
Oh, that I didn't catch. I'm sorry.
But my point is that, once again, so, like, we're going to get this guy. Like, I mean, there were opportunities that you could have done a little bit different. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah.
I agree.
Spanish. Yeah. We love Static, but doesn't the property copyright problems? I want to say the creator, I don't know if he sold it to DC, but I believe it falls under the DC umbrella. I could be wrong. There's a whole who owns what. Luckily, Warner Brothers back in the day was smart enough not to sell off every character like Marvel did. But also Marvel was having a lot of issues. Like, you get a hero. You want Hulk? You want Spider-Man? Who wants what? It was
thanks, Sony.
Yeah, rude. Only if they don't use them in every couple of years. Yeah,
which they will.
Yeah.
They co-own Static.
They co-own Static. Yeah, something like that. Because I know the creators came back and are starting to do more stuff, which is pretty cool. Yeah, they co-own Static. So, yeah. And I think the owner, the creators, the actual creators of Static I think they would be on board for a Static movie. Especially if you have them involved in the writing of it, I think that'd be awesome. That'd be super awesome.
But you have to be willing to play with someone in his sandbox.
Yeah,
right
I think
now,
there's a list of all the writers that are writing on Twitter.
but he's enjoying. It's his right to be able to enjoy his position that he finally has. It's totally in his right. But understand, I'm going to look at it and say, if I'm critiquing it, that's something that I'm probably not going to fall in love with. Because there's no representation.
Yeah. They have the animated show and movie plan with Michael B. Jordan. I haven't heard anything new about it, so I hope it kind of keeps it going. But
is it, or is it you can easily get scrapped? Another thing,
or it just goes like, oh, it's Elseworld, So at that point, does it matter? So
your Elseworld, another character that could have been something. I think that's a dangerous thing too. That's a dangerous slippery slope that you're going on under. So it is what it is, though.
Yeah, it's which character would you like to see besides Static? Because we already talked about him. What other like character would you like to see on there?
The Question would be cool.
Which one?
The Question would be a cool character to see.
The Question.
Yeah.
I don't think I heard of that one. Which one's that?
It's kind of like a lesser known.
Okay.
Trench coat,
right?
Fedora.
Yeah,
no
DC.
face. Yeah,
DC. Yeah, DCU. Like what? Like kind of. Any kind of person of color kind of character. Because I mean,
there's not a lot besides.
There's not a lot.
As you talking about, once again, that's why I said that was my problem with DC. So I'm like, you could do Black Lightning. Like there's not a lot. You can say Martian Manhunter, but he's not really.
Yeah. Vixen, Icon might be cool. Rocket.
Yeah.
Vixen would be kind of okay. I can see that. Man,
Mr. Terrific, maybe.
And he kind of hinted at Mr. Terrific too, like a few months ago.
That's good.
And then
Terrific. That's a
good. Yeah. Question is detective. Is a detective.
Aqualad?
But honestly,
Aqualad would be cool.
The number one answer is Jon Stewart, and making him a more important superhero in the DCU. That's what you have to do. You have to do something like that and make him important and show that he's the number one. And like that's what you should have done. You shouldn't put a movie for Jon Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only one you can for it to be any type of level.
Yeah.
So,
because I mean, I'm trying to think of like other. I mean, all right. So, Kid Flash, Black Lightning, Green Lantern is always is on everyone's number one. Cyborg, Firestorm,
and honestly, that's why they did Cyborg.
Yeah.
That's why they did. It had nothing to do with it making sense. But you realize, man, we don't have any black characters. Let's put in Cyborg. That's what happened.
Yeah, Firestorm would be cool. Cyborg would be cool, but Green Lantern is like I think the biggest, most well known black character in there in DC.
David, I can't pronounce his last name, but he's from part of the Bat family.
Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Since we're talking about like kind of diverse characters, which I didn't realize when I said the question, but
you could do like Batman Incorporated and bring in what's his name? The Man Bat or something? No, fuck, what's his name? His guy, I know he's a Batwing. Yeah, there you go, Batwing. Yeah. I can see that. That'd be kind of cool too. Hopefully they make Hawker Hispanic like in the comics. That'd be awesome. I would like that.
That's what I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the lack of diversity, and that'll be my number one complaint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I mean, there's a lot of other people who said that too. I think Chillmonger put something out. He goes, "What was the title?" He goes like, "DC is all white." And it's kind of like the whole play on all white. So, but yeah, very, very, very much so.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong. I'm still excited. I still enjoy, like this, but it does temper my expectations. It does make me feel like, okay, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, excuse me. Like you said, I think you have to go all in, with John. Like even if he's your the new Green Lantern and Hal's training him, or however you want to do it, if you want to put both of them as like veterans, like they both went through the ringer and now something really big went on, so you put your two big shots on the case, you know what I mean? And then, you know, they complement each other rather than oh, come on, kid, you know, like them being both experienced. I think that'd be good.
I don't think it's a good idea calling him a kid. Just in this lack of diversity might not be.
I know.
But I hear exactly what you're saying, but I feel like maybe even if it was like he's the leader of the Lantern Corps, and Hal is the one who's running it right now.
Yeah.
You know, in that way.
Yeah. I mean, you go the route now. You know, where John is like the power battery, basically, like he is the Green Lantern Corps, like legit. It was weird.
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific is definitely the way to go, I think.
But those are the things you know. You would think we're going to get something, but it's hard. I'm saying all this, but it's only because Marvel already had all these years to do this stuff. Because it took Marvel 7 years to come up with Black Panther. Well, not 5 years, because they talked about it in 2015 and they released it in 2017. So like it took 5 years for us to talk about these things too.
Yeah, but also I think when it comes to like top Black characters, Marvel's got more. So I'm looking at the top 17 right now.
Oh yeah, Marvel had way more. Yeah, way.
So top 17, I'm just gonna count. I'm only gonna keep count of the DC ones. So Falcon is number 17. Spawn, which is not really DC. Batwing, right? So there's number 1. Green Lantern.
Yep.
Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Misty Knight, Black Panther, Storm, Nick Fury, Bishop, Static, War Machine, Power Man, Steel, Cyborg, and Blade. 4 out of the 17, the top 17 were DC.
DC.
And that better not be in order, because Black Panther needs to be
I don't think. I think
if Black Panther and Storm ain't 1 and 2, we're gonna have some fights.
No, it wasn't. That was not an order. I don't know how they listed it. Yeah, but
so that's a problem that he's going to kind of figure out. And you know, James Gunn, I feel like he can figure that out, but it's something that you need to be aware of. And I think that's some criticism that he'll have to listen and hear this and say, okay, you're right. That's something I'm going to figure out. Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be awesome. What if they bring Diggle in as John Stewart?
He's too old.
Yeah.
The same actor?
David. What if they do Kid Flash?
Kid Flash would be cool.
Kid Flash could be cool.
The problem is they're killing off Flash, and they're not going to bring him back in right now. So it's just
fair.
Yeah.
Or you kill off that version, and then the Kid Flash. Hey, I'm from the future. You know, like
hey, it makes $1 billion. It makes $1 billion, and that's how they continue to get it going.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5 different kind of Flashes at least that are kind of big. You know, Barry, Wally, you know, Kid Flash. So, but yeah, you know, that is a big issue, and I think that on Twitter it was a lot. I saw a lot of people saying that, like, oh, cool. So when are we gonna get diverse characters? You know, is that chapter 2 diversity? You know, it's like, what are you gonna do, man? Yeah.
By the way, guys, I only got like 5 more minutes left before
we're gonna part. Yeah, we should have stopped an hour ago.
I had a show that was scheduled at 10:30. It's done.
Yeah. I love how Gunn said, "I don't f with Cavill" in the most convoluted corporate way. Yeah. Like, he basically did the big brain thing. He goes, "Can't get fired if you never were hired." You know, like
that was like,
I know. Danny Nerds is like, "I told you." He's like, ha. Everything I said was exactly right. Josh is like, "Yeah, I knew. I knew."
Almost had it. Got to be quicker than that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So good.
Oh man, but yeah. I mean, I hope it does well because I want to see stuff. I think he's building the main characters and he's doing side stuff as well, like more obscure stuff, because he does best with obscure stuff. The main things, like I feel like if he does mess up Superman, that's a big like hill to start climbing when you already start bad. But he could make it up with some of the more obscure kind of random shit, but
I can see him totally mess up Superman and knock Batman out the park.
Yeah.
But does that save DCU again? Because that's what they always do.
I think they're back at square one.
Yeah. This is what you always do. It's like,
yeah. I mean, we'll see. But I do agree with Zach. He said, I'm sure he will diversify the Wildstorm characters. Probably.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
I can see that.
Someone's going to tap on the shoulder like, hey, yeah, do this, man.
Like, hey, yeah. But yeah, Superman is definitely the most important character. He, like you say, he has to get it right. Has to get it right.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any goodwill to fall back on. Like, it has to. Like, there's no other option.
There's absolutely no room for failure there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spielberg
it has to be
is
at the
only guy
middle.
that I would assume that could do that film then.
Mm-hmm.
Spielberg?
Yeah.
You need to pull out all the big, no pun intended, guns for Superman. You need to do whatever you can. Bring all of it out. Everything you can think of, do it for this movie.
Yeah.
Because if it goes bad, that is not good for you. It just will not look good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he can write a great story, which is cool. Great story. But you have to find the perfect, not a good, not a great, the perfect director for Man of Steel, or not Man of Steel, but for Superman.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And Spielberg would definitely put a good name attached to that, but
because Spielberg is feel good.
Yeah.
His films are feel good.
Yeah. You need that, you want to walk out of this movie just like Derby said, feeling good, feeling hopeful, uplifted.
Yeah.
So
good job. Hopeful.
We really need someone who can definitely reinforce that.
Yeah. One thing DC hasn't done in a while is when you bring your kids to go watch it, and you want them to walk out and they're like and want to be Superman, like have that argument with kids, like no I'm Batman and you're Superman, no I'm Superman, you're Batman, that kind, and we haven't had that kind of stuff. We haven't seen
in a long time.
We see it in Marvel all the time, like no I'm Iron Man, no I'm Iron Man, like you get that all the time in Marvel. DC, like we're like nah. Like it's not that. And I think Superman, that it needs to be that. It needs to be like kids fighting to be that character when they play pretend. That's what you kind of want,
Agreed.
So, yeah. So, and Spielberg would do a good job with that, I think. Definitely. I mean, the greatest director of all time doing Superman.
I guess we can let that happen.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
The question is the Batman film. Who would direct Batman? Brave and the Bold.
That's a good question, because I'm kind of curious as to what the tone's going to be. I
can see Affleck.
What if they brought Nolan in again?
Nolan? Oh.
What if they brought Nolan in again? I mean, you want to make sure you hit home runs, right? You can't hit singles and doubles, man.
Especially with those characters.
That's a great question. I wouldn't necessarily mind Affleck.
Affleck's a great director. He's great.
Yeah. And I'll always be disappointed that he never got to direct his own solo Batman film, because what I read up on sounded like it was going to be amazing.
Yeah. They already hinted that, like, I guess they're going to bring Affleck back to direct something. Like, are we going to make up for that, screw up that we did back then?
Let him carry out his vision. Let him come back and direct this. I'd be totally good with
Affleck
that.
does well with drama.
I don't think Zach thinks he doesn't like The Dark Knight. He doesn't.
It's a
good movie.
I definitely like The Dark Knight. I love Batman Begins. I didn't like The Dark Knight Rises.
I like The Dark Knight Rises too, though. I thought that was fun.
A director that deals with family stuff well, if they're going to go with the Bat family.
Yeah.
Affleck does well with drama and suspense.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, he's really good with that.
Who's good?
Who's a good
Which
family?
is technically based what the storyline of what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you can go drama, suspense. With that,
I wonder who's good with dealing with family-oriented stuff. And no one say anyone who did any of the Fast and Furious movies.
Damn it. I was so close. I was like,
yeah.
Huh.
Diesel?
I'm going to think on that one for a little bit.
It doesn't need to be family friendly, though. It doesn't need to be family friendly like how Superman needs to be super family friendly, happy, uplifting, hopeful. You can get away with a little bit more gritty in the Batman film, you know, especially if you're dealing with a little dickhead. Yeah.
It needs to have like that darker element that makes Batman what he is, but at the same time, I do think
to a degree.
Yeah, it does need to be hopeful and even lighter, just due to the banter and the father-son dynamic between Bruce and Damian. So it really does need
Brad
that.
Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Should do Superman.
Brad Bird would be good. Hell yeah, I'd be down with that. After The Incredibles, Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, which I loved.
Tomorrowland, Iron Giant.
Yeah,
like you said too. Man, Mission Impossible stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I actually got to get to bed though.
Yeah, we're probably gonna start closing it up anyway.
Yeah, and get up kind of early tomorrow and get to work because I gotta get in a little earlier.
Because of that 30-minute rant.
No one cares because you didn't go to work today. No one cares. He's like, I thought I got off to work today. And he didn't actually go anywhere. He literally just left his laptop and then left from one part of his apartment to the other. So I remember it. I remember it. Oh, I didn't take a nap. Shut up.
I sure did.
That's the closest he's been in all day.
I sure did. I wasn't going out in that cold today. I'm happy I didn't have to go out in that cold today.
Talking about I got stuff to do. Get out my face.
I do have stuff to do.
Called sleep.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, but we're gonna close out here. All right, man. Later.
All right, or should I stay around for the closeout?
All right, we'll close it out right now. This will be Damian Leary kills people at the beginning, so yeah, it doesn't need to be too family friendly. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it'd be kind of
cool. Assassin.
Yeah,
he's a little snot-nosed kid. But cool, man. We've been going out for over 2 hours, and we were like 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Never. Like
famous last words.
It was that 30-minute rant. Yeah, which 30-minute rant?
I was like, all right, here we go, guys. This is not gonna go well.
Yeah. But cool. Derpy, thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Derpy.
Yep.
You're starting to build up your channel. So go check out it's just Derpy Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
All right. So go check out. I'll put the link in the description in a little bit. But yeah, go check out Derpy. Like I said, he's been with us for a long time. He watched us evolve.
Subscribers.
Yeah,
exactly.
he watched evolve into the channel we are now. So definitely big shout out to Derpy, and especially DC stuff. I know you always talk about all the DC fan casting and stuff. So this was definitely made for you to join us. So appreciate it. Thank you, Derpy, for joining. And then cool. Yeah, let's just get out of here. Appreciate everyone in chat hanging out. Horror Geek, Zach, whoever else was in, Perp, Tony, all that good stuff. Thank you. And but we will see you guys on Thursday. We're gonna talk about a couple other TV shows and all that good stuff. Appreciate it for this random super DC Gunn announcement show. But cool. Thank you guys. But we will see you guys in the next video. Later.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're out here.